All right, so let me begin by sharing how I became a Christian. Like many, I grew up in a Christian home. In fact, I came from Methodist Church, awesome, great denomination, founded by the Wesleys. And, as a kid going to church Sunday after Sunday, I didn't really understand who God was. I didn't know that He loved me. I didn't know that He was pursuing me. And it was really just a boring place that I felt like Mom drugged me to Sunday after Sunday, like a lot of people, where we sang boring hymns and I had to listen to boring stories from some old guy who had a bad job. and I was one of his subjects that had a bad situation to sit in every Sunday. Well, when I was 19, all of that changed. Like a lot of people, oftentimes it's our brokenness that draws us to the Lord. He says, I resist the proud, give grace to the humble. And I had humble beginnings. I was beaten as a kid, alcoholic stepfather. My mom didn't know that was the situation. And so as someone who had his father die at the age of 13, a lot of brokenness and pain in my life. But it was at the age of 19 that I finally encountered the real Jesus. So the story goes like this. I was playing college football, and I had two friends that were believers that started sharing Jesus with me. And I thought, oh my gosh, you can actually be a cool, neat person and love God, follow Jesus, and not be a weirdo. And not be like that pastor that I was so often reminded of growing up as a kid, which I'm now thankful for, by the way. And so one of my friends was in my dorm room and had a very serious look on his face and said to me, Reese, you need to sit down. And I thought, okay, this is real interesting. So I sit down with my friends, and my friend goes on to tell me that his mom's good friend was driving from Omaha, Nebraska to Lincoln, Nebraska, and had this urge in her heart to pick up a man on the side of the road. So imagine this. You're a middle-aged woman, and you decide that you're going to pick up a hitchhiker. This is an odd scenario, a male hitchhiker at that. So she pulls over, he gets in the car, and he looks at her and says, soon the angel will blow the trumpet. And she gasps and she says, what? Looks back at the man, and there's nobody in the car. So now this lady goes on to panic, like a lot of people would do that have an encounter with an angelic being. No one's in the car. Her knee-jerk reaction was to get out her cell phone, dial 911. She calls the dispatcher, and the dispatcher says, she tells the story to the dispatcher, says, lady, you're crazy, you're a nut job, stop calling, stop pranking me. You're the third person that's called and told me this story today, knock it off. End of story. So my friend then looks at me and says, Reese, what do you think that was? What was the angel referring to? And I said, I don't know, Revelation, Jesus coming back, something like that. I said, exactly. If he came back today, would you be his? And I said, man, I have no idea. How am I supposed to know? I don't know. And he said, you can know that you've given your life to Jesus and that you walk with him and that he's the Lord of your life and he's in charge. And I said, well, how do I know? And he said, do you believe that Jesus died on the cross of Calvary for you? For you? And I said, yes. And he said, would you be willing to give him all of your sin, all of your junk, all of your shame, and then allow him to be in charge of your life, allow him to be Lord of your life? And I said, yeah. And so he said, well, let's pray, let's do it. And I said, it's that easy. And he said, yeah, he'll have you. He'll be in charge of your life. He'll lead you. So we did. And my friend gets up after we prayed together, and he's weeping, and he gives me a huge hug. And something in my heart broke when my friend Steve gave me a big hug, and when those tears. And I realized how real what I had just done, how real it was. It was real to him, it was real to me. And then he left my room, and I just sat down, and I started to pray. And then all of a sudden, I just started to weep profusely. And I knew that I knew that I knew that I was God's, that I was a child of God, and that all my sins were washed away, that I was forgiven, and that I had a new life with Jesus.